There you go. N times n minus 3 is for diagonals, divided by 2. So that's 6 times 3 divided by 2, and that's 9. You can draw 9 diagonals on this one. E is asking me to sketch and label the central, interior, and exterior angle. So I'm going to do E over here. Hexagon, right? You basically start with a trapezoid this way, and then you make another trapezoid going down. Right? If you imagine this line here, so it's a trapezoid just mirroring, right? So then you find a center. So this here would be my central, that's 60. You can label one of these as 120, and that's your interior angle. And you extend one of the sides. Dash it like that, and then that's your exterior, which is equal to 60. Notice that they always add up to 180. Did I talk about that the exterior and interior add up to 180 always? I talked about that yesterday. Yeah. So there's your labeled hexagon. Okay. So for question 4a, let's look at our diagrams here. For A, that one would be, we know that this is 90 and this is isosceles. So there's be a right isosceles. Okay, that's for number 4. B, this would be an isosceles trapezoid. Okay. That's for B. C is going to be a kite, not a rhombus, because there's these two are the same and these two are the same. That's it. And this would be an obtuse isosceles, D, right? And that's that. Now, for 5, you have the question written down, I'm hoping. So for 5a, fuel economy, it's on your formula sheet. It's liters divided by distance times 100. That's the formula. So we used 37.5 liters, and we drove 425 kilometers. We're going to multiply that by 100, and we have to be careful here not to round too soon, okay? After you multiply by 100, then you round. So it's 8.82 liters per 100 kilometers. That's your fuel economy. That's how much gas your car is using per 100 kilometers. Okay. For B, how much would it cost to travel? Oh, I didn't give you enough information. I just noticed that. Let's add that to our question. If gas costs 96 per liter, 96 cents, 96.5 cents per liter. Can you add that to your question there? This is a two-step question, right? Step 1, calculate liters needed for the trip. That'll be your first step. You have two options here. You can use what you started with, kind of saying this, right? 37.5 liters for a 425 kilometer trip, right? How many liters would I need to travel 1350? Okay, and that would be your first step. So you cross multiply here, You divide by 425. And so you need 119.1176 liters. Technically, you're not done yet, right? So we're going to use 4 decimals. Step 2, cost. So cost is simply 119.1176 times what it is for gas. You could also do a proportion there. That's 114.95. That's your cost. So it's going to be a 2-mark question if it goes straight. Let's say you get this and it goes straight to here, right? This would for sure be a 2-mark question, right? You have to find the liters and then the cost. So you can be guaranteed that you're going to have to find how many liters you need first and then the cost. So in total, this one would have been out of 3, right? Fuel economy is just 1, and then B is out of 2 because of the 2 steps. Okay. Let's knock this one out of the park, right? If it shows up on the test, hint, hint, wink, wink, right? Then let's get this right this time. Okay, so that's the warm-up. We will now, and it's all on video, right? So except for the first part, I didn't record finding the first couple, but you get the point. I'm just going to say it, right? There are various ways you could have done sketched 1, right? This has equal sides and 2 pairs of congruent angles and so forth. I just use a variety to give you options, right? Okay, let's move on. Can I get you to go to page 204 in your booklets? 204. We're going to do a little bit of working backwards, and you'll know what I mean in a bit. Copy this to page 204, okay? I've learned already that sometimes you're looking at your screen, right? You might be scrolling Amazon for Prime Day deals or whatever, instead of paying attention to the lesson. And all of a sudden, what? Wait, I'm writing this down? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Copy this to page 204 and get off Amazon right now. Or whatever other app you're on. So write this down, working backwards. If a question gives you the sum of interior angles, or comma, the interior angle, or exterior angle, so they will give you that already. You're not calculating that, right? You will be required to determine the number of sides. Most likely, that's what's going to happen, right? So have this written down so you know for the test, right? And I would say probably a good idea to have these down on a study sheet, because for some reason we freeze when these questions are thrown at us, and you can't guess. If you guess, I'm not going to count it, right? You're going to have to give me some evidence of work, of some steps that you've taken to answer it. Because guessing, you know, anybody can try and figure it out after a while. And solve it. All right. So you know that the exterior angle is 30 degrees, right? And we know that this is E, exterior angle. This is the angle E, right? We don't know how many sides that has, so we can't even draw it, right? What you will find out, since you know the exterior angle, we will use E is equal to 360 divided by N to get us started, okay? So you go, the exterior angle is 30 degrees, so you plug that in. And then we say that that's equal to 360 over N. That's when you introduce the little trick. Put a 1 underneath the other number that's so low there. And then you know, okay, this is just cross multiplying and dividing. That's what it is. Okay, so you're going to cross multiply. So N is equal to 360 times 1. Really not necessary, but then you know you have to divide by the other one. Right? And that would be 12. And N represents the number of sides. That's what you've solved for. So you know that the polygon that has this has 12 sides. And it's called a dodecagon. Okay. Have the names and the number of sides also on your study sheet. Okay. So this one wasn't too bad. Let's do another one. If the interior angles of a regular polygon are 156 degrees, determine the number of sides. And now it's interior angles, right? So make sure you have this example written down on page. We're doing this on 204, but you find any slot. If you need to find an empty slot, just find it somewhere. And make sure before you leave, everybody grabs the handouts, okay? One of each. Okay. Let's keep going here. So here we know the interior angle, right? So step 1 is to find the exterior. We want to find the exterior because then it's easy to solve. We just did an example of finding the number of sides giving the exterior. So find the exterior, that's number 1. Using the fact that the interior plus the exterior angle, right, they are next to each other, technically. They always add up to 180. Therefore, the exterior angle will be 180 minus the interior that you were given, which is 156 degrees. And that is equal to 24. Now do the same as above. Right, so we're going to go 24 degrees is equal to 360 over n. Put the 1 there. Cross multiply and divide. So n is equal to 360 times 1 divided by 24. And that's 15 sides. We have no name for it. But I'm going to highlight the important step here. This was the first thing you had to do. Okay. That was step 1. And then the second step is the same as what we did before. So this is the interior angle is given. Right, the interior angle is given here. Then you had to do the extra step here of finding the exterior, and then you find out what it is. So let's zoom into this 15-sided polygon, which is crazy to draw. We're not going to draw the whole thing. But if we zoomed into one angle right here, which is part of it, right? In here, that's the angle that we were given, which is 156. Okay, that was given to us. And what we did is we extended one of them, and we found that this exterior angle here is 24 degrees. Okay, so this is what the concept that we're doing here is based on this here. This is zoom in. Okay. If we were to zoom in, that's what we would get. This is part of the polygon inside of it, and this is outside. This is an aside, by the way. I would just box this in. Not part of the question necessarily. Well, but not part of the work, just the concept. One last question, and then I'll hand it over to you. I'll ask you to take out one of the worksheets that I've handed out. A regular heptagon has a perimeter of 350 meters. What is the measure of one side? And I don't do well with drawing polygons that are more than 6 sides, so that have more than 6 sides, so I'm not going to try this one. I'm just going to do the math and hope you understand what happens here. Hepta, right, tells us that n is equal to 7. Okay, that's important. That's the first thing you should recognize, right? Heptagon. Hepta, that prefix stands for 7 sides. Okay. The perimeter is the distance around that shape. So let me give this a try. Let's see. It's basically an octagon. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Hey, except for it's not perfect, right? But it has 7 sides. So we want to know if the distance around this is 350 meters, what's one side, what is it going to be? And I think you get the picture, right? You would have to just divide the 350 by the number of sides, right? Divide perimeter by the number of sides. So x would be 350 divided by 7, which is 50 meters. So one side, every single side is 50 meters, 50 meters, 50. And that's a regular, right? I had to tell you that. Regular means all sides measure the same, have the same length. All right, that is it. Now you have over 20 minutes, 25, 24 or so. Actually, this is behind, so you have more than that. This handout right here, I'm not going to ask you to hand it in, but pretend like this would be you now with a study sheet and a formula sheet trying to write the test. Would you be able to do this? And I kind of give you the marks that are allocated per question so you kind of know what to expect. So find this handout. Okay, do this now. And what I will do is let you work and go over this tomorrow with the class, right? So you want to be able to do this on your own. Oh, you don't have that? Okay, I'm going to post it, okay? I'm going to do the PDF. Anybody else in here that doesn't have this? You don't have it? Okay, I know I have one extra for sure here. Anybody else? Just you? You don't have it? Okay, I see that you have it. Okay, so I did hand it out. Let me see if I have another one here. You think you never got it, or you just left it at home? Oh, okay, got it. You left it at home. Okay, I'm just going to give you this one here then. I'm going to post it, okay, folks? It's not there for sure. Okay. So Grant and anybody that's in the same boat, go ahead. I'm going to post it right now, okay? Just give me 1 minute. Okay, there it is. Okay. It's up right now.